Hello and welcome back to Kids Reads Factivities, where we talk about facts and do some activities related to those facts. I'm your host, Julia from the Peggy Helmuth Library, and today's Factivities topic is elephants. That's right, those enormously elegant elephants, the marvelously mammoth mammals that feel with their nose and hear with their feet. Don't know what I mean? Well, if you're up for the tusk, stick around and you'll find out. Elephants are the largest land mammals that live today. There are three main species of elephants: the African bush elephant, the African forest elephant, and the Asian elephant. That's just three remaining distinct species in the whole wide world. And between these species, there are a few differences, such as their ear size, number of toenails, that's interesting, and number of fingers. What? Fingers? Yep, at the end of those long trunks are either one if you're an Asian elephant or two if you are an African elephant. Fingers that help dig stuff from the ground or grasp leaf off of trees or any other number of useful things our fingers can do. If you would like some more information about the differences amongst the elephants, you can check out this book, The Truth About Elephants. It has a nice picture here that tells you all about things, including their toenails and the size and shape of their heads. Very cool book. You'll want to check out. Now that we know about the different kinds of elephants, let's find out more about how they are alike. Have you heard? Elephants live and travel together in herds. Most herds are made up of related females of all ages and young adolescent males. The oldest female is the matriarch, who guides and leads the herd. Older male elephants break off on their own to travel alone or with other males. With their herd, they travel and forage for food. They eat a ton of food. They are very large creatures, after all. And just like everyone in your family needs to eat, all the elephants in the herd need to eat, so they walk around snacking on grass, leaves, branches, barks all day. Factivity time! Forage like an elephant by going on a scavenger hunt. To start this activity, grab a grown person. Together, you can learn about elephants by reading books like How to Be an Elephant or Elephants on the Move. In this book about Asian elephants in the Smithsonian National Zoo, they talk about how the zookeepers will hide stashes of food around the zoo. This kind of mimics how elephants foraging in the wild. So they are essentially creating scavenger hunts for food for the elephants to explore, which is a form of enrichment for the elephants, which is pretty cool. Your activity, if you choose to accept, is to go on a scavenger hunt. This is where your big person comes in. See, I didn't forget them. The elephant never forgets, you see. Have your grown person set up a scavenger hunt for you? This can be as simple as hiding objects around your house and have a fun game of hide and seek with the objects, or as elaborate as following clues and solving puzzles to go to the next place where you will find another object. Scavenger hunts are very cool and fun to do, so think like an elephant and uproot everything you find. But unlike elephants, you should probably help clean up afterwards. Your parents will thank you. Now, while elephants are herding and foraging, they are also communicating with each other. Elephants are very social and communicate through trumpets and low rumbly growls. Some so low, humans can't even hear them. Vibrations of these can travel miles away to neighboring herds, which they can communicate with each other about what's going on their neck of the woods. Elephants can hear these rumbles through their sensitive trunks and from the pads of their feet. Did you know you can hear through touch as well? The sounds we make, or anyone or anything makes, are actually vibrations through molecules. Very sciencey. And these vibrations essentially hit the eardrum or something probably slightly more complicated than that and come across to us as what we know as sound. But you can feel these vibrations with more than just your eardrums like elephants do with their feet. Here's a quick activity you can try to feel some sound vibrations. Elephants actually have kind of poor vision. So they see the world through other senses, like touch. So what I want you to do for this activity is you're going to grab a paper tube. Now this one was a wrapping paper tube, so it's rather long, but you can get like a paper towel tube or a toilet paper roll, although maybe sanitize that before you use it. And all you're going to do for this activity is get your paper tube and make some sounds through it. Make sure your hands are further down on the tube while you're doing this. And you can feel the sound you're making through the tips of your fingers on the tube. How are you like an elephant? We find out that we can feel sound vibrations just like an elephant. Check out this book, If You Were an Elephant, to find out some more things that maybe you and an elephant have or do not have in common. And while you're at it, here's an activity to try. Make a list of the 5 senses: touch, smell, see, hear, and taste. And make 2 columns next to those. One you will use for elephants and the other you will use for yourself. Next to each sense, like for example touch, mark the body part you would most likely use for those senses. For example, our fingers. We touch most things with our fingers. What would an elephant use? Do you know? There's an hint. So if you completed this activity, you should know that an elephant's trunk is used for so much more than smelling. It's their arm, hand, fork. They can feel vibrations for communications with it. They can communicate in other ways through touch. And it's a true multi-tool, just like it says in this book. See? It's used for all kinds of things. They're really great at multitasking. Tusk jokes. Okay, that's just a few things to know about the elephants and a few activities to help you learn about those things. Check out any of these books from the library and learn more. And just as this book says, the threats to elephants are enormous, but we can help. And we should, because elephants are worth it. See? Okay, that's it for me. Don't forget to love each other and elephants. Stay safe, and I'll see you again another time.
Elephants. Okay, I like that. A nice demographic. Demographic is not the word. No, no, no. With their herd, they forage and travel. They forage and travel. They travel and forage.